Hello Aries, welcome into your reading. I just want everybody to know that this is going to be a general reading for anything that you need to know or help in any sort of advice that you need in your circumstances or situations. But also I want to let everybody know that I do readings based off self-growth purposes to raise your consciousness and awareness to the options that you have available to you in any sort of circumstance. So just make sure you take what resonates and leave the rest. And also just know that you have full control over your life. Do not let the tarot readings take away your power. So with that being said, we have the Teddy Bear Tarot and also the Animal Apothecary Oracle coming out to play with you today. So let's go ahead and dive into the reading. The thing that is coming up to me the most when I was trying to resonate with your energy before we started this reading is it seems like, Aries, that your freedom seems to be a bit suppressed right now. For some reason, you don't feel like you have the energy of freedom. So let's try to figure out what that's going on right now for you. Like, what's going up with Aries right now? Get some oracle cards to come out here first. Have focus on the big picture. See beyond the past, and Master Manifester. Okay. Very interesting energies because we have something about the big picture, which could be talking about more of like a future resonance with what's going on. And then we have see beyond the past. So it's almost like letting go of the past, seeing beyond it, not allowing it to be incorporated into where your future is going. So whatever you have felt in the past, you have felt it through, you have made sure that you resonated with it, but it doesn't need to be held on to. It's dead energy, it's dead weight. Maybe that could be part of the reason why you're feeling suppressed is because you're being held down by some dead weight. And you are a master manifester. You are somebody that is capable of creating available options to you as you're navigating through your path. So even though you need to be focusing on the big picture, it seems like you are manifesting something to come up into your life. It almost seems like whatever it is you're going through is part of your manifestation act, I guess you could say, where whatever it is that's trying to come up, there's some things that are needing to be gone through so that way it prepares you for the end goal, which is why the bigger picture needs to be focused on. How can you resonate with what you're going through right now with the bigger picture that you are trying to target and bring into your life as well? It's almost like if you were needing to like go to a beach trip or something, like a vacation. You've manifested a vacation, right? You need gas to be able to travel in your car, right? So even though it's an annoyance and sometimes inconvenient at times, it's still a necessity. So it's like taking a look at that, like saying, hey, the reason why I needed gas is so I could get to the beach, right? So there's going to be scenarios like that for you as well coming up here. Dropped a card, now we got it back. What is going on with Aries? Why are they needing to focus on the bigger picture? Why do they feel suppressed of their freedom? Try to get some clarification with tarot. We got a few cards coming out here. All right. So yeah, Judgment card, perspective. Got the Eight of Wands. Got the Nine of Swords. He's over. Got the Nine of Wands. Five of Wands. I'm going to put this one at the top. That stands on its own. Anyways, the Ace of Swords. So there's a lot of things that you are combating right now. It almost seems like maybe you are combating the things that are popping up in your life to improve you. It almost seems like you are like asking yourself, why is this happening? Why am I not able to continue to do the things that I have gotten myself into before? I have gotten in routine of before. And now it feels like my freedom of, my time, my thoughts, my being able to do the things that I'm already used to doing. All these things are coming up of like, why is this being taken away from me? Why am I not able to have the freedom to continue to do the things that I need to do? And it almost seems like things are being thrown at you. You're being kind of thrown into the fire as well, where you have asked for this. This is something that you've asked for, and now you're hit with a lot of emotions. You're hit with a lot of pauses to reflect. You are hit with a lot of energy to try to improve yourself. But it almost seems like the situation is that you need to kind of shift your perspective of how can I improve myself? How can I overcome these obstacles? And how can I take the story of overcoming these obstacles to incorporate it into my truth, to incorporate it into my path or vision, and allowing that to build you up to the person that is able to unlock these manifestations and bring these manifestations in. This is something that you've asked for, and it is being shown to you, is being thrown at you. And it almost seems like it's one of those shell shock moments where it's like an energy of you being kind of shoved into the deep end, and you weren't expecting you to be like around a pool or around a body of water at all. And you're just like, how did this water just appear out of nowhere? And now I'm in it. Like it doesn't really make sense to you, but it almost seems like you're having to make a lot of choices right now as well. And yes, like your freedom is suppressed because there's a lot of new things that are on your plate right now, but you've asked for this as well. So I'm not going to say any more on that, but let's try to figure out what choices you are having to make. What is Aries having to make choices of? Past cannot be the past anymore. It's changing. It's ever changing. It's ever changing for you. Okay, so the Tower. Okay. Now the Five of Pentacles. Page of Swords. And let's pull one more. Okay, we're not going to use that card. And the Sun card. Oh, that's probably an equivalent anyways. So, Ted Kiss was the card that came out for anybody that was wondering what card I'm not going to use, and that's just a freaking card that's in this deck that I don't resonate with right now. So anyways, the Sun card came out, probably closest equivalent that it could possibly be, and I also think the Ted Kiss, it might be equivalent to the Lovers as well, which means that, it could just be you coming in reunion to yourself in a way, but with you being shoved into the deep end, now you're cold, now you're wet, and there's a lot of things for you to kind of sink into. There's a lot of things that you are having to process through. There's a lot of things that you might feel are kind of attaching themselves to you in a way, and that you are having to come up with clever ways of getting around these things, coming up with clever ways to combat these things. But even though the Tower falls, there is a sunrise the next day, right? So like it almost seems like you're being asked to make choices to overcome obstacles, to overcome challenges that are being thrown at you, because these challenges are the things that are going to lead you to almost break down your own tower. It almost seems like you are the one that is kind of sitting behind this tower movement. It's almost asking you with your free will to create a tower movement for yourself. What does that tower movement look like for you, Aries? What does it look like? Is it leaving a career? Is it leaving a relationship? Is it leaving school? Is it leaving some sort of path that you were going down for your future behind? Like, what is that going to look like for you? Because it almost seems like you are being asked to be more optimistic and follow the more clarity, the more truth behind something. So, like, if you have the truth of needing to make more money, or if you have the clarity of needing to find someone that loves you for your own uniquenesses, then those are the things that you need to follow. Those are the things that you need to pursue, because it almost seems like you're not pursuing that right now. Those are the choices that you are having to make. Pursue the things that you know that you resonate with and that validate you, and that gives you this triumphant feeling of raising the sword and being like, I done this. I did this for myself. I did this for a better future, and I'm going to make sure that I am preparing myself for a long tenure in some sort of situation, and not being in a situation of just depletedness or having to come up with all these other obstacles that just don't serve me. It doesn't fit with me. It might feel like whatever you're going through fits with you right now, but just think about these situations like super far in advance. Did you see yourself going very far with these situations, with how things are right now, or how things were before you started receiving these obstacles? It almost seems like, to me at least, that these energies aren't long lasting for you, and that you need to overcome these obstacles to really find what you resonate with as a long tenured option for yourself. And whenever you find that truth and that mental clarity to see what that is for you, then that's what you're going to pursue. That's what you're going to start building the foundation of your next tower for, is the energy of things that you know resonate with you and that give you that good optimistic feeling. That gives you that life, that gives you that warmth. All right, let's see, what kind of advice do we need to hear for Aries in this situation? All right, so we have the Ace of Wands coming out. We have the Queen of Pentacles, and then we have the Five of Swords in reverse. Interesting that that comes out in reverse, because it almost seems like it would be very fitting for you to have that right now. But maybe this Five of Swords in reverse is something about how what I'm saying to you is resonating for you to kind of shift your perspective in a situation of, wait a minute, I'm not as confused as I was a second ago. Okay. And whenever you start coming out of this confusion, the advice for you is to be able to kind of take yourself out of the picture, kind of ground yourself, kind of really relax, feel your energies, feel what it takes to kind of give back to yourself, right? What can Aries do to give back to themselves to really activate a lot of changes for themselves? You are the one that has the power to activate change, movement, and action for your life right now. All the control for you to make choices in your life is in your hands, Aries. And yes, you might feel like you have a lack of freedom because you're having to, do things that you feel weren't there before. Maybe you feel like you weren't necessarily called to that, or maybe you felt like things were placed on you to take away your free time or to take away what was feeling good for you. And that kind of puts you in a perspective of like, man, like, why did I just get like bombarded by all these energies, and now like I just don't have what I felt like I had before? Like, you have the power to make these choices, to make these changes, to make activation happen in your life. And you've got to come from a place of knowing that you need to take care of yourself and that you need to set yourself up for long-lasting longevity type of energies, right? You need to have that long-lasting, tenured energy of whatever it is for you, relationships, work, or projects, or just your morals, whatever you can resonate with. This is the message for you. Find what is going to be this long lasting energy. Have that clarity, take away all that confusion, and take away any energy that is trying to combat that. So if you feel like something's challenging you, look at that challenge and really try to figure out what this obstacle is speaking to you about. And then you're able to remove that obstacle that is not needing to be there at all. So let's see if I can pull one more oracle card for you and see what it says for you. If it has any sort of advice, any sort of extra information. Yeah, I mean, that's perfect. Self-worth, love, value, and respect. You got to have all of that to make your life whole for you. Okay? Once you're able to adapt into that, everything will be in a better resonance with you. Things will go a lot more easier. You'll have a lot more flow, and you'll be at more peace as well. So that's what I have for you, Aries. If you have any sort of questions or concerns, feel free to drop them down below in the comments. And I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Take care.